Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Redeemed Marriage Podcast. Rusty and Heather Bryant back with you today. And we've got a great episode planned ahead of us. Actually, planned is a very strong word.
It's a little bit too strong for what we do on here.
Yeah, but the last few weeks, we've actually had a lot of people coming and saying, oh, we just love y'all's vulnerability. I'm like, aren't we always?
Yeah.
Because we just really just talk. But we do have a topic, and so we're going to get to that in just a second. This is the last week. I know some of y'all listen to these all different times of the year, but if you happen to be listening, because so many of them listen at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:05. This coming up Friday is going to be our marriage night event over in Gardendale, Alabama at Gardendale First Baptist Church. So we would love to see you there if you're anywhere within driving distance, or even if you want to just fly into Birmingham last minute and come see us, we would love to see you there.
Does Birmingham have an airport?
Absolutely, it does. So you can fly in there. We'll be there on Friday evening. So Friday, February the 13th. This is 2026, and we'll see you there, hopefully, for a little marriage night event. It starts at 7, but the doors open at 6. We're going to be there then, so we can hang out with people and get a chance to meet a lot of people, and so hope you're one of them. But since it's Valentine's, we're also going to do a little bit of a Valentine's theme, but here's the thing. I don't want you to shut this off if you're like, it's not Valentine's anymore. I'm listening. I'm way behind on my Redeemed Marriage podcast, and it's like 2 weeks later.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, because really this is not so much about Valentine's. We're just using Valentine's as a way to talk about communication. And who doesn't need help with communication in their marriage? It is the number one thing that we hear people say. It's the biggest problem in our marriage, and that's healthy marriages and marriages that are struggling. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to communicate, and it's going to be something a little more specific because it's going to be dealing directly with Valentine's. So if it is the week of Valentine's, you're going to maybe learn some stuff. And you look really cute in that hat, by the way.
Oh, I'm so excited I think I'm excited about my hat. Okay, Super Bowl's over.
Super Bowl is over.
Even if you're listening to this at 5:05
I hope your team won
on Monday, the Super Bowl is over. But a friend gave me this, a friend and a listener gave me this, and it says, classy until kickoff. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, that's the cutest hat. And then I'm like, oh gosh, what does she know about me? She's evidently watched me, during soccer games of my kids and Alabama football games. But luckily, I don't have any skin in the game tonight.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're just going to watch
the
for fun.
Super Bowl, we're just watching it for fun. So I had to sport my classy until halftime. Kickoff.
Classy until halftime. I get really ugly at halftime because I'm hangry at that point. Give me some food.
That's right. Classy at kickoff. But I do love, she knows that I'm just a big sports fan. And so thank you for my hat.
Yep. So this is Valentine's week as well. We're wrapping up the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It's going to be Valentine's week. So here's where we're going with this today. We're going to talk a little bit about communicating expectations. And a big deal that we didn't know very well first half of our marriage, so much better second half of the marriage. And so we're going to use the framework of Valentine's, and we're going to just kind of talk about expectations. And what I thought we would do that would be kind of fun is we're literally less than a week away from Valentine's. So I'm going to share with you what I think your expectations are for this Valentine's weekend. And then you're going to share yours with me.
What my expectations are, or what I think your expectations?
What you think my expectations are. Okay. And then we're going to kind of tell each other if we're right or if we're spot on or whatever. But then we're going to actually share, hey, this is how you would have a conversation about this, because we haven't talked about this at all. And at some point this week in their normal, because we have good communication most of the time. So what we would do at some point during this week, there would be a conversation about what are your expectations for Valentine's. And so this is going to show our listeners and
Mhm.
viewers how they can have this conversation with their
Mhm.
spouse.
Yeah.
Okay, does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, I
where
think
we're
so.
going?
I think so.
Okay. Because so let's just tell our expectations first, okay? So yours is complicated, okay? I'm not
Mhm.
going to lie. I've had a lot of thoughts over the last
I
several
don't think that shocks anybody.
yeah, I've had a lot of thoughts over the last several weeks about what I think your expectations are for this coming up Valentine's.
Mhm.
Now, I will say this: we've already said this weekend we're going to be gone. So it's actually going to be fun
Mhm.
because we're going to this event and then we're getting to stay over in Birmingham. So we're actually going to stay both nights
Mhm.
and we're going to celebrate Valentine's while we're there. So that's good. That's a big part of it. But for you in particular, like celebrating things are a big deal. Valentine's is this is my way of saying this is what I know about you.
Okay.
And you can tell me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
Valentine's it's not a huge, like it's not one of your big deals. Like
Mhm.
birthday is a huge deal. But Valentine's, it's kind of, I mean, I do think you feel like it's a little gimmicky, but it's also, it's special. It's supposed to be, special. So what would I do for you for Valentine's? So what I've been thinking about are all of these things that you've told me for the last several weeks. And this,
Oopsies. Not weeks.
oh no.
Months.
Okay, months. This is stuff that this happens all the time.
Uh-huh.
And something will happen and you'll say, oh, I really need this or I really want this, and we'll kind of kick it down the road a little bit and you'll say, oh, this would be great for Valentine's. Well, by the time Valentine's gets here, there's like 15 things and I'm like, well, we got to make some decisions. And so that's where we would probably be at sometime this week, is making those decisions. But here's what I know. These are the things that have come up fairly recently. And so your expectation, I think, is that there's one of these kind of big, I'm going to say big ticket items. Nothing's expensive, not big expensive, but one of these you'd probably like to order it yourself. Like you're not a big surprise person. You don't really care for me to go and just pick one of these, because what also happens is that you sort of fluctuate between, I really want this more than I want this, but I really want this more than I want this. And if I chose one, good chance I'd choose the wrong one of what you really wanted at that time. So you have mentioned to me, because we did our, you're really laughing at this.
Yeah, because I'm honestly, my thoughts are, do you think I'm the only woman in the world? Like, do you think
No, that's why
women...
people are listening right now going, oh, I know what they're talking about.
Okay, good, because there could be women out there that are like, oh my gosh, she is really high maintenance.
Well, there probably are some like that, because some of them are like, just buy me some chocolates or something. And that's fine. If you're
Yeah,
that person,
that's right.
man, that'd be a whole lot easier for your husband. So what I hear, though, is we just redid our bedroom. And we did that for each other's Christmas present. And there were a few things that didn't get finished.
Mhm.
And we were like, yeah, we need
Like
to get
purchases.
yes,
like
purchases.
we need a
That's
chair
right.
for the corner
That's right,
and
that's
a
right.
blanket and a lamp. Yep. Mhm.
So something to finish out the room
Mhm.
is probably up there at the top of the list,
Mhm.
but some of that stuff can get a little bit pricey. So there's kind of the second tier. So I listen, and the second tier is we've had the same like casual dishes for oh goodness,
A
forever.
million years. And they're all chipped and yucky.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Mhm.
right. Because we have boys and they're rough, and they've
Mhm.
been rough only
Mhm.
through the year. So
We're missing several.
yeah. So you're like, that would be a good gift, and not quite as expensive as something
Mm-mm.
for the room.
I found like an 8-piece something for very
Mhm.
inexpensive.
So I would say this is if I didn't have a conversation with you, it'd probably be one of those two things is probably at the top of your list that needs to be done. Now, on the flip side of that, you like a little bit of a surprise every now and then, but not a surprise that you haven't actually shown me. Like, I like this. You should get that
Mhm.
for me. Okay, so I have some pictures in my phone of things that I've recently, seen that you took not that you took pictures, that you showed me.
Mhm.
And several of those are at the store that you love over in Birmingham.
Mhm.
So I have these kind of thoughts going through my mind. I'm like, well, we're going to be in Birmingham, and actually on Saturday it's just kind of going to be us hanging out.
Mhm.
And I was like, it'd be really fun to like go to the store and just let you pick out one of those things. But just to tell you up front, hey, while we're there, let's go and you can do that. I think you would like that, and you typically would appreciate that more than me going out of my way and picking one of them and trying to get Logan to go get it for you or Molly to go get it. I'm sorry, I'm saying names. That's our kid and his girlfriend. Sorry. But having them go pick all that up and do all that, I think for you, you probably would just rather go and pick one out and be like, oh, I got to walk out of the store with a package and stuff. Okay, so then there's this other lower tier. And you told me recently you sent me a picture. This is my favorite chocolate ever. But I went ahead and bought it for you. But if I bought some of that, they'd be like, oh, you remembered and you thought, okay. So all of that to say, those are all of the expectations. And you can see how you're very complicated.
I am. Like, I was listening to you and I kind of feel sorry for you.
But you can dissect it in a minute. But am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you think about that, then you have to realize, man, like that we need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be fair, you should probably have the conversation before the week before Valentine.
Well,
not about what to do, but if you wanted to do a gift, sometimes you need more than a week.
Sometimes, but let me defend some people out there too, because you got to remember everything I've just laid out.
It changes.
Yes, and that's how you're like this.
That's true.
And these days, you can order something
That's true.
today and
You're
it
right.
comes in 2 days.
You're right.
So it's not like there's a lot of preparation for this. The preparation is, I just told you. Like, I just told you everything I've thought of. That's the preparation. So, okay, so before we dissect it, or do you want to dissect it and then tell me?
Oh, I don't care. I'll dissect it.
Dissect it. Let's
Okay.
go.
So you were right on all accounts. You're right. There was one that I was like, not necessarily, and I'll tell you what it is. But you were really, like chair, lamp, blanket. I would love for that to be done, but it's unrealistic because financially we can't do that right now. So it's like, okay, we'll wait on that. Then the dishes, that's a great idea. And it's not too expensive. It would be sweet to be like, oh, I got these for Valentine's. And I think that part of the reason why I love to celebrate it's just a reason to get something on my want list. It's not like, oh, Valentine's is this special. It's just like, oh, that's a time I could get a gift, and I don't feel bad about it. You know?
Okay.
So just a little honesty policy there. All right. So the dishes would be grand. Okay. The store. There is absolutely no way the thing that I love in there is still there. Like, it was kind of like a Valentine-y something. And so I'm thinking, it's probably gone. So on your, she'd like to go in there and pick that out. If it was still there, I'd be like, yes, it's a miracle. It's still here. And I would love that. But probably it's not still there. So that is probably a won't. The chocolate, I love any reason to have chocolate. It's a good one. It's a good one. So but I mean, like, here's the thing.
Don't go into details, because what we have to do now is you're going to tell me, and then we're going to actually have the conversation, because now that all this is out there, we got to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't want to mess something up.
Yeah. Okay. So, wait, what am I doing right now?
What
would you expect? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you're not watching on Instagram, I mean, what's this? YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, you can't see my confusion, my confused face of why he's even asking me that. But you chose the room that we're going to stay in this weekend, which is swanky. And there's only one thing you want for Valentine's Day, and that would be for us to have sex. That's it. Which cracks me up, because you would think that that's not something we do often. It's like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. It's going to happen. But I mean, we do that often, but it's still the only thing you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. The end. You don't want a gift. You don't. But what's crazy is when we have kind of talked about gifts, because your poor little self-propelled mower
But this is not a Valentine's thing.
But I tried to make it one. I was like, you don't have to
Yeah.
get me a chair. Just get yourself a mower.
Where's that button that goes wah wah wah?
Seriously,
Yeah,
I would be like,
yeah, I'm
go
not
get you
yeah,
a mower.
I'm not an idiot.
Because it's fixing to start
Okay.
getting hot.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. Let's have a conversation that we would have probably today anyway. I
Mhm.
mean, we would
Yeah.
need to have this conversation
Mhm.
today. And so here's the thing that people, this is where I want to shift into what communication is really like. There's a lot of you out there, especially the ladies, that you don't want to have a conversation like this because you have this thought of he should just know.
Mhm.
Like there's that, okay? And honestly, yeah, if that's kind of you and you're like, he should just know, and I like surprises, just surprise me. Okay, great.
But you can't be disappointed.
You can't be disappointed.
Mhm.
That's exactly right.
Mhm.
Because nobody can read minds.
Mhm.
And same with the wife talking or expecting or thinking what she expects or what your husband expects. It's the same thing. So you can't just think that they're going to get it right, or you've got to be able to be okay with whatever
Yeah.
they choose if
Yeah.
you don't want to have this conversation.
Right.
The smarter thing to do is like know who you are, know how you respond to gifts, and know how you respond to holidays, and make sure that you're not setting your spouse up for failure of some sort.
Right.
Because the worst is when they go to all this trouble and that's not really what you wanted
Mhm.
anyway,
Mhm.
and then you look disappointed or show disappointment. So,
But you know what I think's even bigger than that? I think that there are lots of people out there that their spouse one time gave them roses and chocolate. And the first time they gave it to him, it was amazing. It
mhm.
was like, he remembered me. He thought of me. He got me roses and chocolate. And the husband was like, well, that was a home run.
Yeah.
She loved it. So he does it every year.
Yeah.
And the wife doesn't know how to say, or maybe she wants that every year.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's women out there
Oh, yeah.
that love that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of women out there that are like, he just gives me roses and chocolate every time. And I don't really want that anymore, but I don't know how to tell him. And so and the man is still thinking he's hitting a home run, because honestly, if you sit outside the Kroger on Valentine's Day, men all day long coming in getting chocolate and roses or balloons or whatever. And that might be what your spouse wants.
You know what we should do? We should go outside of Walmart or Kroger and pass out flyers for marriage coaching.
Or video people and ask,
yes.
Is this really what your wife wants for? Did y'all have a conversation?
I wonder if we'd get in trouble for that.
We probably would. Did y'all have a conversation? Is this what she said that she wanted?
So there's also a way to do it where you're not just planning the date, okay? So maybe it's something like this where you and your spouse, you sit down, and here's how you do this, okay? This is a teaching moment, really good teaching moment. We have learned how to have lots of conversations about expectations because the definition of disappointment is unmet expectations.
That's
There's
what
no
disappointment is.
reason why you should go through Valentine's and at the end of Valentine's somebody's disappointed. It shouldn't happen because you can have an expectation conversation and it might actually be listen, it could be, babe, bless you. It could be this as is your conversation. Bless you.
Excuse
that was
me.
3. It could actually be, hey, let's have a conversation about our expectations. And your part of the conversation might really be, hey, I just want you to surprise me.
Yep.
Like do something, just, whatever you do, just surprise me, or let's go out, but I don't want to plan anything. Like that could be it. But there might be some of you that are so far off in the way that you're thinking that there's going to be disappointment. So this is how our conversation would probably go at some point today. I would probably approach Heather and I would say, hey, look, Valentine's is coming up. We're going to be traveling. It's going to be fun anyway. But I know that sometimes in Heather's mind, so I would say sometimes in your mind, sometimes in your mind, like this feels a little bit like a work trip. I mean, we're going to speak at an event Friday night, and it just so happens that we're going to get to stay in a nice place for a couple of days and celebrate Valentine's. But I understand that that's not very special for you because you're just thinking, well, we got to do that anyway. So it's not like we're going and getting away for the weekend, even though it could feel like that in a normal situation. So I would say that's already being done, and we're going to be at a nice place. We're probably going to eat nice while we're there. There's restaurants at the resort and stuff, so it's going to be great. But I know that there's some things on your list, and I want you to be able to order in time if you want it to come in before Valentine's. And so you've mentioned quite a few things, and then I'd probably go through the things that you've mentioned and say which ones of those would you really want? What is at the top of your list, and what do you want to try to do? Okay, so what would you say to me?
Yes, I would say.
So y'all are about to find out right now what she's getting for Valentine's Day. Okay.
Because I'm going to answer you honestly. Okay, this is what I would say. I would say I'm super excited about the weekend. I'm really excited that we're speaking at this church, and I'm super excited that we have one extra day just to be there. I hope we get to see our kid. The choir, show choir from our hometown is actually going to be there too. So we have several group of friends that are going to be in town there. So hopefully we can see some of them. And, I'm excited about the weekend away. And going out to eat and all of that. As far as a gift, this is my honest thoughts. I would be I would be over the top happy with any of those things you just said. All of our listeners know, but I will tell you, in case some of them are new, I'm not really good with the financial part of things, so I don't know what that budget might look like. But just from conversations we had, I doubt finishing the room is going to be a possibility for Valentine's Day. It's probably going to have to get kicked down the road. So I will not be disappointed if that does not get finished. I really, really love those dishes. And I really, really love the thing that's in Birmingham, if it's still there. And I always love chocolate. So what I am honesty policy telling you is that I would love any of those things. If you were like, okay, I'm going to surprise her with one of these things, and you just went ahead and got one, I would love it. If you're like, hey, let's just wait until we get there, and if it's not there, we'll do something different, I would love it. So honestly, I don't love saying I want this and this and let me go order it. I like for you to have a variety of options, and I like to be surprised with which one you got.
So here's what we're going to do then. So based on this conversation, because I think this is fun, I think this will add to the fun of the weekend of us being there. Let's go to that store because you love the store anyway.
I love the store.
And, if there's something that you find, because it may be something even that wasn't there when we were there a week ago, you find whatever you want. And if that's what you want, we get it. And you come home and you're happy. If you're looking around and you're like, the thing that I really liked isn't there now, then we go back to the hotel and you order whatever it is.
Off Amazon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
and as far as what are my love languages?
Quality time and acts of service.
So, seriously, just being with you at that weekend, being available for Logan if he's like, hey, me and my friends want to go eat breakfast or whatever. That is the part that I love, just being with you and being with my family. If you said, hey, I can get you the bedroom stuff and the dishes and that thing and the chocolate, or you can choose for our whole family to be together. I'd choose our whole family every time.
Yep.
And you know that about me because I love quality time. But since it's an opportunity for a gift, those are great options.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Okay. So do you need to have a conversation with me?
Nope.
But this is the thing, like in our situation, I mean, you're right. It's like, well, what? I mean, it'd be different if we were physically intimate 2 or 3 times a year.
Right.
Valentine's would be really important.
Yeah.
But, for most guys, like that's just kind of an expectation on Valentine's and on anniversaries and on birthday,
and
those
I'll
things.
probably bring a costume because to make it a special one.
For those of you who don't know what a costume is to Heather, that's
It's lingerie.
Lingerie. She's not going to the Halloween store. And
I'm not going to be a
grabbing
nurse.
a Batwoman costume. Although,
No, my costumes are just lingerie.
well, that's the thing that I was going to say. Like for us and in our situation, it's just that like what makes that special is that you've thought about it,
Right.
And that you've thought, hey, this is what he wants and expects. So how can I make it different?
Right.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, and special
That's it.
because it's
different and
Valentine's
special.
Day.
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
all right.
I just I
Speaking
want
of
people,
vulnerability,
That's right. I just really want people to take away from this just to talk to your spouse. And I can just hear somebody complaining in their car saying, well, then you know what you're getting, and I don't want to know what I'm getting. That's fine. Tell your spouse that. Say, I really don't like to know. Like, I listened to Heather and she's like, oh, I want this, or this. And I don't like to know that. Like, I want to be surprised. That's perfect. But whatever your spouse does, know that you are choosing for him to surprise you. And it has to be like, he's going to have to hit a home run no matter what he chooses to get because there's not an expectation given. And so and I used to be one of those people who was like, I just expect you to know, and you better hit a home run or I'm going to be disappointed. And it's just so much pressure. And just when I learned that you can't read my mind, it changed how we communicate.
But here's the thing where I think guys fall short is that if they go and they have a conversation 2 days before Valentine's and they go, hey, babe, what do you want for Valentine's? Like that means you hadn't put any thought into this.
Right.
And that's the part that I think hurts.
Yeah.
Because you can have a conversation at that point and your spouse can say, well, I really wanted this. Okay, I'll go get that for you. But the difference is that for months, literally for months, I have, as I do most of the time, I'm keeping inventory record. I mean, I can show you on my phone.
Because Valentine's Day it's the 14th of February every year. So it's not like it jumps up on you.
But
sneaks up on you.
Sneaks up on. But that's the thing is if your spouse comes to you and says, "Hey, what do you want?" and then there's like proof of whatever, like you're rattling off, hey, I remember when you said you wanted this.
It just means a lot.
And like when you were in that store, I took a picture of that because you said you wanted it. I mean, I got pictures on my phone. I've got things that we've discussed and talked about, so I know. So you're never going to go, oh, here you are last minute again.
Yeah.
No, I mean, ain't nothing last minute. It's just I want to do what you want.
Yep.
So okay,
Hey,
so you guys
happy Valentine's Day.
have those conversations, and they're not hard. They're good and they're fun, and it's a moment of connection and emotional intimacy when you do have those conversations. So, all right, well, happy conversing. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.